Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and today we are going to be talking about why the Wii U was sales-wise a colossal failure and why the new Nintendo Switch is doing so well. So before we get started, please remember to hit that subscribe button down below if you like my content. Leave a like, turn on that notification bell, and as always, feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for my next video. So, let's look at the Wii U. So the game roster wasn't great besides that Nintendo specific games. There wasn't really any third-party support behind it. There wasn't really any good advertising for it as well. And obviously the most important reason, the marketing for it was terrible. So let's start off with the name. Wii U. The previous console, the Wii, as you see where I'm going with this, it's like the same exact name. I mean, yes, you have the PS3, the PS4, etc., but it basically shows a next generation. When you have something called a Wii U, nobody knows what the U stands for, and most of the people that viewed the console just assumed that it was a additional add-on to the Wii. They didn't know it was an entirely brand new console. They thought you were just buying the gamepad, and when it originally came out, I believe for $2.99, everybody was like, why the heck would I spend that kind of money on just a gamepad? Nobody really understood that it was a brand new console. Also, it tried to take what the Switch is doing very well. It was basically an adaptation of that. It had a gamepad that everybody assumed was going to be some sort of portable, and it really wasn't. You got maybe 40 feet before it lost connection. At least I did in my house. It depends on obviously what your house is built out of and if the signal is bouncing off of a bunch of different walls or not. So the Nintendo Switch is basically what the Wii U should have originally been, in my opinion. You have a console that you can put on a docking station and play games on your big TV, and you can also go ahead and grab that guy, take her on the go, and go wherever you want to with it. I think that's what Nintendo was trying to initially do with the Wii U, but they weren't 100% sure how to do it yet because they were still basing everything off of the disc format. Going back to the disc format, yes, the original PSP had like mini discs that they used for that console. Nintendo didn't want to go that route. I'm assuming it was because Sony owned that kind of patent or whatever, so they couldn't use that. So they decided to go with the regular discs for the Wii U, and you would have to design a system that would be completely around a disc, basically. And if you look at old portable CD players, even if they say they don't skip, for everyone that had one, they know, yes, they did skip. You hit a bump on the bus to the ride to school, you know, you're just walking around, you start running fast or something, the CD skips. And I assume they were worried that if they put a CD and had a portable CD game system, that it would do the same exact thing. So what they decided to do with the Switch is kind of go the 3DS route. They got rid of the dual screen, so no dual screen for the 3DS. Yes, it is still touchscreen like the Wii U and the 3DS, but they went with cartridges. They found a way to make cartridges play up to 1080p, which is excellent because I believe the 3DS itself is 240p, and the Wii U only got up to 720. The gamepad for the Wii U, I believe, is 480. That also hurt it a lot because at that time, 720 and 1080p were fairly common, and if they spent a little extra money, they could have easily done it. The major issue, though, was with the Wii U, it was so expensive for them to make that every single console they were selling, they lost money on. They thought they were going to make it back with the games, but because of the lack of third-party support, they never did, so the game console ended up only lasting 5 or 6 years, even though it had a great variety of Nintendo-specific games. Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, etc. Donkey Kong too. Star Fox, they brought him back. Kirby, Luigi, bunch of great games for the Wii U that are console-specific, but without the third-party support like Xbox and PS3 and Sony have. You cannot basically make the console last, so they couldn't make enough money off of the games to justify selling the console for that price point. There was a console price point drop at some point because the technology finally got a little bit cheaper, but they never made their money back. They lost a lot of money. And now we go on to the Nintendo Switch, which is actually outselling, or sorry, I should say outsold the PS4 in 2018. It is now close to 20 million units sold, if not 20 million units sold, which was their initial goal. Eventually, they will probably be making an updated version, possibly with a better screen, because I know everyone complains about the screen on the Nintendo Switch, not for like gaming on the TV because it's 1080p. The gamepad itself is like 720p, and you can get a phone now with like 4K screen, 2K, 4K screen, so I don't understand why we can't have one on a Nintendo thing, even though Nintendo's never really been up to date on the whole graphics thing. They have more been kind of do their own thing, make it all about the game specifically than the graphics, storylines, etc. Also with the Switch, which I'm hoping they create a new model, they have screen issues with docking it without a screen protector, so you pretty much need to buy a screen protector right out of the box, or you are going to scratch it up with the crappy plastic dock. That I do not personally like. They need to make that dock a little bit sturdier, maybe a little bit stronger plastic, maybe some metal trim or something. But that's pretty much why the Wii U was a colossal failure compared to the Switch. The Switch took the greatest components from both the 3DS and the Wii U itself and created it into the console that the Wii U should have originally been. I don't think Nintendo had the technology at the time to do so. They were all gung-ho about the backwards compatibility, which nobody was really doing anymore by the time the Wii U came out. And the Switch no longer has backwards compatibility. Sorry about that, guys. Compatibility either. So that is why the Wii U was, in fact, a colossal failure. Fun game system, yes. If you can get one cheap enough, feel free to pick them up. Feel free to look at my other video, should you buy a Wii U in 2018, 2019. My name is Steve Gray. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good one.